Hello, statistics, which is reading from a bar chart. So let's just remember where we get a bar chart from. We get a bar chart from a frequency table. And as we already know, a frequency table we create from a tally count, and the tally count is created from the collected data. And you went through that whole process already in the exercise of creating a frequency table. But we're going to look at something a little nicer today, which is reading from a bar chart. Okay, so I'm going to go straight to the question that we're asked. And in this question, it says, in an exam, there are 10 questions given, with one score being given for a correct answer and 0 for an incorrect answer, and the results from a class are shown below. So in this picture, we have the scores in a test. So some students got a score of 0, some got a score of 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, all the way up to 10. And we counted how many students got a score of 0, how many students got a score of 1, how many students got a score of 2. And as you already know, when you're counting how many, that's a frequency. And we write our frequency up the left-hand side. The count goes up the left-hand side of our bar chart. And the values that we're counting go along the bottom of the bar chart. So these could be numbers like a score in a test, 0, 1, 2, 3, or they could be how many count how many cars of a particular color we've seen, but you've seen bar charts before, hopefully. So today we're just going to be looking at how to read it. So the question asks, how many students received a score of 8? Well, let's look where a score of 8 is. The score of 8 is on the right hand side of the bar chart, 3 from the end. And when we want to see how many students we count upwards, which brings us up to 6. So hopefully you can see there that on the right hand side, there's a score in the test of 8. And when you follow that bar up to the line, you see that line is at 6, which tells us that 6 students got a score of 8 in that test. So your answer will be 6. Let's have a look at the next question. It asks us how many students received a score of 10. So let's go over to the score of 10. Now, as you can see there, no students got a score of 10. So your answer would be 0, to say 0 students got a score of 10. But just to make sure we're clear, let's go through this. How many students got a score of 9? Well, that was 0 as well. How many got a score of 8? Well, let's follow the column for 8 up. And let's have a look how many students that line is. That's a line of 2. So 2 students got a score of 8. And just having a look at some other numbers, how many students got a score of 3? We'll go to the column that has a score of 3. We'll go up to see how many students that was, and we find 4 students got a score of 3. Okay, so this is a nice, easy, and quick question for you to do after all the effort that you put in yesterday to create a frequency table. So it's much easier to read. Once you've got a frequency table or a bar chart, it's much easier to read from it than it is to read the data when it's all written out piece by piece. So that's why we summarize data, to make it easier for us to read. And today's exercise is just a quick one in reading this. So in this one, how many students got a score of 10? The answer would be 0. In the previous one, how many students got a score of 8? The answer would be 6. Okay, so have a go at those questions. They should be straightforward, and the best of luck to you.